Okay, a few more details, how to choose which foods. So we want lean protein foods because we're trying to get foods that are low in fat, no trans fat, but low in saturated fat. So these are some good options for lean protein foods to have on your meals. Fish, we talked about poultry with chicken, turkey, pork, eggs, better to be cage-free. Eggs, red meat, beef and pork, but not daily. And then there's also great protein sources out there that are vegetarian, like tofu, edamame, soy, quinoa. Quinoa is a grain, but it's very high in protein, which is awesome. Buckwheat as well is a grain, but it's very high in protein. And the fresher, the better. That's going to be less processed. Again, the fresher, the better. And then frozen, when you freeze something, it maintains its freshness, is better than canned or pre-made. When looking to purchase fruits and vegetables, it's better to buy them whole. So for example, if you're buying carrots, it's better to buy the real carrot versus chopped up baby carrots in a bag. And you're paying for the chopping and the labor when someone does that, and you don't 100% know how long ago those were chopped. So it's better to buy whole foods, firm vegetables. When you're looking for your leafy green stuff, try not to get wilty stuff. Fruit and vegetables are live entities, so over time they do change. If you think of a banana, when you get a banana that's a little bit green, a little bit yellow, it tastes different, right? It tastes kind of not as sweet, but if it sits out over time, it slowly gets sweeter because it's changing. There's chemicals in there that starts to break down the natural sugar and change it, so it tastes sweeter. And other fruits do that too. And when it changes like that, it loses some of its antioxidant power, so to speak, and some of its fiber. Some of the fiber breaks down. So you want kind of firm stuff, no bruising, no wilting. Try to eat within 3 or 4 days. If you can't, eat it within a day or two, chop it up, store it in a vegetable drawer that has the humidity factor in an airtight container so that air doesn't, or like a baggie, so air doesn't get to it and cause it to get more ripe too quickly. And oils and fats, along with spices, you should store in a cool, dry, dark place. When you get oils, if they come in a dark bottle, those are better ones. The virgin olive oil and extra virgin olive oil are processed less. They're pricey, but those are processed less, and we'll have more of those antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acid powers in there. And if it starts to smell funny or bitter or weird, just get rid of it. You might notice that, I don't know if you've ever had peanut butter in your pantry for a long time, but if you don't close it tightly, or even if you do close it tightly, over time it starts to have a funny smell to it. It gets rancid or old, and it's just the oil's changing. So you could also smell that with different oils. If you have canola oil in your pantry for a long time, smell it and just get rid of it at that point, because that's when the fatty acids have changed enough to decrease their antioxidant ability there. Okay, don't forget about dairy. So dairy is an awesome food if you don't have an intolerance to it. If you are lactose intolerant, you're not going to choose dairy, but dairy is full of vitamin D, which is so important, full of calcium and full of protein. So milk, low-fat milk, yogurt, cheese, those are all great foods. So don't just blanketly say, I have to take out dairy because I have an autoimmune disease or I want to make myself healthy. You can incorporate that very nicely by choosing low-fat dairy options. And then you can use those to make smoothies. And smoothies are one of the best ways to incorporate a little bit of dairy. If you choose not to use dairy, you can use a milk alternative like almond milk. But then you can throw in vegetables, throw in fruit, and get lots of servings of your fruits and vegetables just by a relatively small drink.